We are starting the week by taking you to the Loop for some authentic Jordanian food.
In today's Loyal to Local, we're featuring the story and the food that make American Falafel one of a kind in St. Louis.
Mohammed Qadadeh opened his very first restaurant in the middle of a pandemic.
We're coming up on a one-year anniversary in June this year, which is a big deal for us, for a restaurant that opened in COVID, during COVID, to actually survive and hopefully will prosper.
He's not a chef.
That takes it to the next level. That's how I gave it to you, Jordanian style.
He wanted to bring his shop, American Falafel, to the Loop neighborhood just so he could have a taste of home.
I've traveled through many countries in the Middle East and Africa. I've tasted many of the cuisines there. So I wanted to bring that back for me, selfishly, for one, because I wanted to have that food here. And I also wanted St. Louis to have some of that really authentic taste of the food.
That authenticity comes from the equipment he uses.
I bought the falafel machine and the hummus machine, and I actually brought them from Jordan to St. Louis.
And the recipes he puts inside those machines, well, it doesn't get more authentic than that.
I brought all of my grandma's recipes. My chef here as well, he brought all his mom's recipes. Although he's an executive chef, we decided to go with our, parents' recipes, or our family's recipes, because that's where the really good taste comes from.
So while you may have had Mediterranean and Middle Eastern food before, he says you've probably never had it like this, at least not in St. Louis.
My grandma raised me on these recipes, and I know how they're supposed to taste, and I know how the hummus, the falafel should taste. So I want to bring that exact same experience to St. Louis, and I think I've succeeded in that, based on the feedback of the customers that are giving us.
Just don't ask him to play favorites with his menu.
I've created the menu, so all of the sandwiches are close to my heart.
And so are the galayas.
These are traditional Jordanian skillets. If you go to downtown Amman, Jordan, okay, and you ask for a tomatoes galaya, okay, you'll get a really nice tomatoes galaya, which is, tomatoes and garlic.
He's used his food not only to bring his grandma's cooking to the Lou, but also to give back and thank our frontline workers. He created a way to pay it forward, enlisting other Loop restaurants to donate meals, with more than 1,300 donated so far.
Our patrons can buy a meal and donate it to a frontline worker, and that program still continues to this day.
He says it's just one way that food brings us all together, and that's exactly why he started his restaurant.
The meals are savory and really nice, and you interact with us. We tell you about our stories, you tell us your stories. So that is what American Falafel is really all about.
American Falafel is in the Delmar Loop at 6314 Delmar Boulevard in University City. For a full menu and hours, head to AmericanFalafel.com. You can also find them on Instagram and Facebook. And congrats to American Falafel for their Best New Restaurant and Best Middle Eastern Restaurant nominations for St. Louis Magazine's A-List. You can vote right now at stlmag.com. And to learn even more about Mohammed, his restaurant, and his journey, listen to the Abby Eats St. Louis podcast by Five on Your Side's very own Abby Larico.